Good morning. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, to enlighten, to educate, to entertain. And on today's episode is Scam Damnation with your host, Lillian Cauldwell. We are going to continue about catfishing. I am going to present to you a hypothetical letter that could have been written or passed along to the Pennsylvania Office of Aging. However, if you live in the other states of the Union, they all have their own offices of aging, the police, and everybody else who your son or daughter or concerned boyfriend or a friend may get in contact with these people. And this is how your fate is decided. So, like a letter, it begins with the topic. And the topic is, my mom is being catfished. The problem, she doesn't believe me. And then, if it was written from my personal experience, my son would have gone on and say, she's 73. It started when she was 72. And she met somebody on Facebook who claimed he saw her profile and just had to meet her. Well, that sounds innocent enough. Everybody receives loads of friend requests on Facebook. Opposite sex, same sex, it doesn't matter. They see something clicks. So they decide, yes, this is what they want. And they go on. And not only do they go on, but immediately this person falls in love with me, or with your grandmother, or with your mother, or with your sister, or a cousin, or an aunt, and says, I want to be with you for the rest of your life. Now, if you're an older lady and you're divorced or widowed or single because you chose that lifestyle, something like that may be very complimentary to you. Everybody likes to be told they're wanted, they're loved. They want to take care of you. They want to have a companion. That's what animals do. And we are, quote, a human animal, unquote. So we found that you can go online, and from what my daughter-in-law tells me, for $50, you can find out all the information that one needs to know about you because of any dealings you have previously done on the internet. But in this respect, these people who were concerned for me went out and found that this person was an imposter. Not only was he an imposter, but he took somebody else's name, took their life, took their photographs, took their information, and used that to catfish me. Unlike the lady in the article, though, after I was reported in, I stopped, because some of the ways he phrased the sentences, if you lived in the United States all your life and spoke American English, you wouldn't sound that way. It was a red flag, one that I missed previously. But this time, I took a look at the evidence and I acknowledged, yes, I was fooled. End of story. No more contact. I blocked him. Where did I block him? I blocked him on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, email. And I reported it in to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Gmail, so that they were aware that this guy existed. In fact, Yesterday, I received from a Facebook administrator who was in charge of a website of a famous celebrity who warned people that there was several gentlemen posing as that celebrity and not to be taken in by how he spoke or what he wanted. Just delete it immediately. What was the problem with this lady in the article? She didn't believe her son and daughter when they gave her the evidence that this guy was an imposter. Now, he couldn't get after her money because the son controlled the finances of his mom. However, where is this red flag? The red flag is that his mother did not believe either her son or her daughter. One can only assume, and I was told a long time ago that if you broke up the word assume, it means ask you me, that the mother knows what's going on and doesn't want to admit it, or she's feeling lonely and she'll go ahead anyway. So what does her son and daughter feel about this? They think she may need medical help, including tests to assess her cognitive well-being, as well as assistance and intervention to protect her finances from this catfisher. So, what are some of the things that will happen to you if you remain catfished? The first thing that would happen, or the most immediate approaches the article's on, is to show your evidence, the other Facebook profiles of the same person, and tell her that he is a scammer and he's preying on her loneliness, her vulnerability, and yes, her ability to believe. And there's nothing wrong with believing. However, when you have proof in front of you, sometimes you have to take that kernel of truth that's being offered to you and admit there's no fool like an old fool, another favorite 50s expression. Because I really wanted to learn how to protect myself and how to protect all the other lonely people, and that includes men as well. These are the tips that Facebook, a spokesman from Facebook, directed me to about avoiding catfishing and how to report it. And also concerns anybody who's going to loan you some money to pay off a debt, a prize, or other winnings. And the first step is to slow down, say, wait a second, this doesn't sound right. And don't be fooled if they start telling you about a, quote, sudden emergency, unquote. That happens. A lot of them may say, we need a plane ticket, or I just ran out of money. Can you wire me some? So Facebook says, quote, if someone claims to be a friend or a relative in an emergency or asks you for advance fees to receive a loan, prize, or other winnings, slow down, do not engage, and remember, you always have the option to report them to Facebook and Instagram. The spokesperson went on to say, if a new third-party app requires you to log in with your Facebook account before you use it, don't share the request and don't share information about your own Facebook account asking you for your passwords. It's nobody's business. Neither share your social security number, credit card number, or other financial details. So what do the authorities do? Well, they arrange to a memory test for you with your mom's doctor. I already took mine and passed with flying colors. In fact, I still remember that the man lived in Chicago, Illinois. Yes, well, what can I say? The Mayo Clinic says these tests cover thinking skills such as memory, orientation, reasoning, judgment, language skills, and attention. If she persists, they go on to say, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority provides financial institutions with a form to establish a trusted contact for investment accounts. That way, you have control over your mother's finances. However, if your bank suspects that you're being catfished, they can freeze all your assets and your accounts. And if your mother still persists in remaining in contact with this scammer, you could go to court and ask them to give you financial power of attorney. And this will stop scam artists immediately and avoid having your home foreclosed. Recently, there was a man who committed suicide because he was scammed out of all his money. Another thing to consider, should things get out of hand, is a conservatorship. CONSERVATORSHIP, which is an involuntary process and takes place when a person is unable to take care of their finances. Each state has its own rule for guardianships and conservatorships. To apply to become a conservator, you need to file a petition with the probate court in the county where your mother lives and detail all the responsibilities, powers, and duties you intend to take on for her. You also need to submit a plan for your mother's care. According to the Family Caregiver Alliance, quote, once a petition is filed with a court investigator is appointed to interview the proposed conservatee and determine if the individual is truly incapacitated and whether appointment of a conservator is justified, unquote. Then the petition is set for hearing, and the conservatee must appear in court unless medically unable to do so. And the organization adds, the judge determines based on the petition, the investigator's report, and any evidence taken during the hearing. Now, credit cards now make it available to you to freeze your credit card accounts with all three of the major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So no one can take out loans or open accounts in that person's name. This is a good practice for anyone who you feel is in a vulnerable position. People 60 years old and older are five times as likely as younger consumers to report losing money to tech-related scams, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Phone scams are the number one scam affecting older people, followed by computer-related fraud, which we will get into next week. So if you want to hear this episode all over again, or you know somebody that you feel is being catfished, please have them go over to youtube.com/PWR Network PW Talk Radio. Or have them go over to passionateworldtalkradio.com/blog. Or they can go over to facebook.com/Jeannie White. It's all there in black and white. Listen to it. In fact, for the 4th of July, you may want to give them a special Freedom from Scammers podcast. Your call to action is to text me at pwrnetwork@gmail.com. Give me your name, your phone number, or your email. Let me know you're interested in protecting yourself from catfishing or phishing. Scammers don't care. As long as they can get your hard-earned money, they're satisfied with a day's work done. That is your call to action. Please, if you have your own story of being catfished or scammed, again, text me, pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com, and let's talk, because I will put you on. It's time that people who are victims need to come out of the closet and share their stories with the universe. The United States is not the only country with this problem. This is $1 trillion business, folks, and most of it emanates from Africa, the Ivory Coast, which has a terrible reputation with scammers and bullshit artists. This program is being brought to you by the Obstacles of Podcasting Training Certificate Course with your host, again, Lillian Cauldwell, a 19-year veteran of podcasting, 2-month program, daily. First 20 minutes lecture, second 20 minutes you put into practice what you've just learned. At the end, offered 3 weeks of on-air time with PWR Network, plus 3 months worth of internship. And if you build a good audience in 90 days, and it's quite possible, you'll be asked to become a host on PWR Network. And our other sponsor is by Ruby.ai, a new all-in-one inclusive artificial intelligence software that does everything for you in one place. Like to compose music? Ruby can take care of it. Writing up contracts for your small business? Ruby can take care of that. Need an attack plan to convert clients to paying customers? Ruby has an answer for that. Interested? Contact me at pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com, and I'll provide you with the links to go in and take a look, sign up, and become a member of my team. I would also want to mention that you can make money on this. So if you sign up before July 7th, I have a deal for you. Again, contact me at pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com. Tell me what you require from AI, and I will be more than happy to show you what it can do for you. It does everything but stand up and give you a cheer. Thank you very much for listening, and remember, stay tuned for part 2 of a hypothetical letter to someone in authority about being catfished. Have a great 4th of July.